Good morning. It's a little earlier than we're used to, but there's a lot on the plate today, and so I needed to get in here as early as I possibly could. Good morning to each of you. I pray that all is well. Why don't you tell me hello so that I can say hello to you? Um, and We'll get started almost immediately. Again, I pray that everyone is well and that God is blessing you in spite of whatever you may be going through, that you can find a reason to be thankful. So today we're going to talk about the ability to find gratefulness. Good morning, Britt. To find gratefulness even in the most difficult situations, even when things happen that are surprises, or that things happen that are unexpected, that aren't necessarily good, but yet if we can look at what they will do in the end, then we can find a reason for thankfulness. Good morning, Miss Lucy Course. Good to see you here this morning. So, 1 Thessalonians 5:16-17 says, "In everything give thanks. In everything give thanks. For this is the will of God concerning you." Good morning, Dr. Kim. For this is the will of God concerning you. And sometimes we wonder, why would God's will be to put me through this? Why would God's will be to take me through this circumstance, or this sadness, or this grief, or this struggle, this health challenge? Why would it be God's will for my life? Well, this life is filled with things that deteriorate, that decay. And sometimes the best thing for us is something that does not feel good to us. But if we believe Romans 8:38, then we are able to find gratefulness. We're able to find thankfulness, even in the most difficult situations. I'm convinced that if we are still and we let our emotions take a back seat to our faith, we will be able to see in the most difficult situation how God is using that situation to bless us in ways we may not be able to feel, because feelings are not necessarily what's going on here. That we sometimes feel what is going on emotionally, in our humanness, in our nature. But what God is doing is to attach to our spirit. So it's our responsibility to grow up our spirit person. When we grow up our spirit person, then we can sit even in the most horrible situations and find a way to see how God could be using that, even that pain, even that sorrow, even violence that we saw happen overnight in Chicago. How does God use that kind of heinous activity for our good? But we can't look again with our natural eyes, because our natural eyes will begin to look at the theodicy of God and say, God, how could you let all of these bad things happen to good people, to children? But we're not the orchestrators. We're not the architects of this journey. So in our faith view, in our faith eyes, we have to sit back and trust that whatever God is doing, that God is doing it for a purpose. And while it may hurt us, it may bless someone else. And because we're not the architects, because we're not the orchestrators, we can only look at things through our lens. But God is calling for us to see things greater, see things at a higher level. So this is November 1st. So I want you to, this is kind of our theme for the month, and we're going to deal with thankfulness and gratefulness in lots of different ways. But today, just be able to say, you know what? I don't yet know how God is doing this, but I'm going to, first of all, be grateful that I know God, that there is God in my life, that I know that come what may, God is in control. And for that, I can be grateful. If I can just start right there, then I can have an attitude of gratefulness, even in the most difficult times. So my encouragement for us today is to know that there is always something to be grateful for. I know in our minds it's like, but I had to have this. I got sick. I had to deal with this. I had to go through this treatment. I had to go through. How is that something to be grateful for? The gratefulness is you're still here to have the conversation. Start there. That's why I say there's always something. It may not be a multitude of things to be grateful for in this moment, but I promise if you look with different eyes, even in the midst of the most horrible situations or things that we thought that we had under control, but we found out that that's going to all be changed, that we're not going to get it the way that we wanted it to be, then what we have to know is that God is still worthy of our gratefulness. And so, ask God to help you see your life through spirit eyes. That's right, Miss Lucy. If you put Jesus first, then others, and then yourself, but make sure you keep yourself in it, that you will have joy. And knowing that is something to be grateful for. That no matter what I am going through, no matter what this day holds for me, I am going to find something to be grateful for. And I'm going to give God a real praise, a real grateful praise that I was able to, even in the difficulty that's going on in my job that I don't even want to tell anybody about, if that's who you are, if that's what's going on with you, even though you may be having faith for something that may not come to fruition, it does not mean that you can't be grateful that God gave you the ability to see with faith. Gratefulness, thankful for something in every single day. I'm not going to ask you all to put it and post it. I just want you to do it. You got a journal? Get your journal out. If you just want to put that down at the beginning of your day as you do your devotion, as you thank God for this day, you want to say, God, I'm thankful for this. Even if it's a retro from yesterday, as you look back over yesterday, God, I'm thankful that this didn't happen. I'm thankful that it could have been this, but it wasn't. And give God praise for it. For this is the will of God concerning you. May God bless you. May God keep you. Please go forth with gratefulness. Please go forth thanking God, being grateful. Start today, November 1st, all the way through the month, even after we get through all of whatever Thanksgiving is. And don't get caught up on what you want to see Thanksgiving be, because this is the first one we can really have after the biggest COVID scare, because we don't know what's coming up. Just choose to be grateful and to be thankful. And however that looks, be thankful for it. I don't know if that's prophetic or just discernment, but be thankful for that. Go forth today. Find something to be grateful for. Find something to just be able to say, I thank you for that, God. And I promise you, your day will be better than you expected. That there will be light in your eyes and in your life. And that those who you come across will wonder how in the midst of what you're going through, you can still seemingly have joy. It's because you do. Because you've learned how to be grateful in all things. God bless you. Heaven smile on you. Don't forget, there's always something to be grateful for. And be encouraged. See you soon.